Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do actual forms. So using flat shapes to create a 3D form that is enclosed. So there's air inside. I'm using the corner of the chipboard, and I know that I want that cube at the bottom to be 4 by 4 inches. So I will move the ruler across and put multiple marks in. Then I can hold the ruler against those marks to make sure that my lines do stay straight and do not end up crooked. And by using the corner, I know I already have 2 perfectly straight edges, which makes my job easier. And because I know this is a perfect square, I can go ahead and trace that. And I'll keep tracing it and using the straight edge that I've created. So I have 6 of them. I can then cut all of these out and use them to build my cube. So your slab sculpture can be entirely built with 3-dimensional forms, or you can use single slabs, or you can do a mix of both. Again, you can use any kind of tape that you have. You can use clear tape, you can use this yellow tape. You just need enough to be able to build and make sure your piece can stand up. So I'm just going to continue to keep adding my pieces, lining up my edges and my corners. You need to make sure that whatever you build in Chipboard is precise and that you have all your measurements accurate, because if your chipboard is messy, your clay sculpture will be messy. You are using your chipboard as a physical template in clay once we make sure that it can stand up and that it looks good as a sculpture. Now I could leave this open if I wanted, or I can put a piece on top and enclose it. So that's a couple different things you can do. It doesn't have to be fully enclosed. I've had students do things like make shelves, so they have a sculpture that can hold things by leaving one side open. So now I've got my cube, and I could continue up and build the rest of my shapes to complete that sculpture. I am going to jump over to my third sketch and show you how to create one of these triangles that can stand up on its own. So you could create a triangle by having a triangular base or a square base, and then having 3 or 4 triangular sides. The one that I'm going to do only requires cutting out 2 triangles and then having flat sides. So there's multiple ways to do this. It depends on what you want for your design. So again, I found my middle point, drew that vertical line, and then made sure I measured from the edge to the point so that each side of the triangle is the same. And I can trace it, continue to cut out my shape. Now I have to decide how far apart I want these. And I want to go with at least 2 inches, and this is for any shape that you do, because we need the piece to be able to stand up. And if you go too narrow or too thin, then it won't stand. So you can see I'm using the ruler and the side of the chipboard that's straight, and I'm marking 3 inches across, pretty far up. Then I can lay my ruler along all those marks to ensure I have a straight line that is exactly parallel to the edge of the chipboard. I can hold my triangle along the edge to figure out the length that I need. Then I can start to create my segments for each side. So I need to create one more because I didn't have quite enough space. Measuring that side, I got lucky and that actually was perfect. That usually never happens. And then start to tape everything together. Building this shape reminds me a little bit of stacking cards and building houses made out of cards when I was a kid. In that sketch, you can see that I actually have negative space cut into the surface of the slab, and I have the illusion of one triangle piercing another. And so I can leave my triangle open like that, or I could cut an opening into the face of the triangle. If you plan on having any cutouts within your shapes and your forms that you're creating, I recommend drawing them out on the chipboard and then just kind of coloring them in so you can see the placement. You do not have to come in with scissors and try to cut out that shape. You can save that for the clay, but having the negative space drawn onto the design will help us see what it's going to look like when you're completely finished. And there you go.